Welcome to Stager Savvy, insider secrets to stage your home and sell it for more. My name is Stephanie. This is the podcast where we bring you the latest tips, tricks, and expert insights from the world of professional staging. And I'm joined by my friend and fellow staging expert, Kandice.
Hi, everyone. We may be competitors in the Denver market, but we believe in abundance and collaboration over competition. And we're here to share our collective knowledge with you. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn from the experts. This is Stager Savvy. Hi, everybody. This is Kandice Doherty with Kandice Lee Designs and my fellow co-host, Stephanie Breckbill with SLB Design Co. Sorry, I kind of fumbled over that. How are you today, Stephanie?
I'm good, Kandice. How are you doing?
I am great. Boy, it is a busy staging season, isn't it?
It is. We're kind of in the thick of it, although I hear it's going to get worse, busier the next several months too. So we'll see.
Well, nobody really knows, do they? So
That's right.
I'm definitely prepared for some more busy season. So today's episode, we are talking about staging myths and what people think about when they think of staging that may not actually be true.
Love it.
I think these are all going to be very important because people have a perceived notion about staging that we're going to debunk.
That's right. They totally do. So yeah, it's good. It's good to talk about all this. And I think a lot of it is stuff that we haven't really talked about before. So I think it's going to be a good one.
It is. It is. So common myths, there are so many. We're only going to hit on about 10 of them today, but let's get right into it. Okay. Of course, the first one, and I hear it all the time, is staging is too expensive.
So expensive. But it's not.
It's
we
an
know
investment.
Staging makes you money. I mean, I know one of the things you like to talk about is staging makes you money, interior design costs you money. Like they're not the same thing, which is so true. And when you can stage your home and present it to those potential buyers, their perceived value goes up, their emotional investment goes up, they're willing to pay more because now they're in love with this place.
Right.
And so you can ask for more money. The potential buyer is willing to spend more money, like all of the things. And if you invest, a couple $1,000s in
maybe a few thousand,
depending. I mean, you could do a consultation. You could get your furniture out of there and do a whole vacant, bring in all the stuff, right? So maybe it's $5,000 or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
Right. I don't know. But if that's going to bring you 50, I mean, that's a pretty good return on investment. What's that? 1,000% or something? $5,000 to $50,000? Like, you're not going to earn that with money.
An investment of 5% on an $800,000 house, you're making $56,000 over what you expected.
Right.
So why would you not want to do that? And people are always like, well, I have to spend so much money to sell my house. I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do this. Well, yes.
Yes, you do. Yes. But you're going to see it at the closing table.
But staging should be at the top of the list because it is proven to make you money.
Yes.
Proven.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a ton of stats out there. What's the one you were talking about earlier is they sell on average 7% more than an unstaged home.
Yep. There's a lot of stats about it.
Yeah.
And compared to the neighbor who's not staged, easily make more money on your sale.
And faster, so you don't have carrying costs either.
Of course.
You're not paying your mortgage for 6 months because it's just sitting on. Maybe you've got one more mortgage payment and you're out. I mean, that's a big chunk of change too.
It is. And so doesn't the agent want to make more money? Doesn't the seller want to make more money? I mean, this is our goal really in staging is to make you more money. So invest in staging.
Yes, it's an investment. It's not a cost. Yep. I mean, you definitely what you put in, you will get back out tenfold. At the closing table. I would say.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it should be part of your budget. Oh, we're probably going to have to stage, and this could cost us. I mean, you might as well stick $5,000 in there and it's more than likely not going to be that expensive, but at least you have that put aside to do the things that make it look its best.
Yeah. It's a good number to put in your head that, okay, maybe we'll have to spend $5,000 for staging to make sure our house looks as good as it possibly can.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I always tell my sellers, for every 1% you put in on the front end, typically has a 10% return on the back end. So put that 1% in. And if you think about that's going to make you money.
Yeah. You don't earn 10% interest anywhere else.
Right. Okay. So our next myth is staging is only for empty houses.
Yeah. Well, this is right up our alley.
This is.
Woo-hoo! Yeah. No, I mean, so many homes that people are still living in with all of their furniture. There's so many things you can do to make it better. I mean, we've talked about all of our episodes are talking about all of those things, but like it's not just vacant. Yeah, if it's vacant, it for sure needs it because rooms feel smaller when there's nothing in them. People can't visualize their stuff because they don't have anything relative to say, oh, my couch is about that big. So yeah, it would fit, whatever, right? It's a vacant space. It's hard for them to wrap their mind around getting their furniture in a vacant space. So you need to have stuff in a vacant room. But even in rooms that are not vacant, most of us have too much stuff. So they probably have too many things in them. So we need to edit those things out. The decluttering, all of the things that we've talked about in other episodes. But yes, even if you're living in your home while you're selling it and all of your furniture is still there, staging still applies to you.
Absolutely. There's just lots of little tips and tricks that we're marketing your biggest investment. So, why not?
Yeah.
Put that little zhuzh in there to make it really look its best.
Yeah. And there's the benefit, like the home is actually being lived in at the time it's for sale. But if we can take the sellers out of it and put in enough neutral things for the buyers to envision themselves, like it's going to feel homier than like just a vacant staged home that there maybe is no life in, because I mean, I know they're adding life and they'll add plants and all the pillows and all the things to make it feel great. But there's something about the life that's within a home that's being lived in, I feel like. So definitely do that as well. But you got to take yourself out of it. You've got to neutralize it so that anybody can see themselves in there.
Right. And vacant staging is, both is extremely important, but it's making it a even stronger presence these days. So many agents think that because of what happened the last few years, that they could just put something on and it's going to sell right away for as much as it can. And that's really not the case right now, especially. Staging is so important to beat out the competition.
Yeah.
And get your house sold versus your neighbors.
That's right. I hear a lot of agents right now are talking about how long things are lingering on the market.
Right.
And yesterday I was looking at my little spreadsheet and kind of tracking some stuff, and I'm not seeing what they're seeing.
Me either.
I'm seeing a weekend and we're under contract. Like,
yeah, me too.
There's maybe a lingerer or two, but big picture.
Well, and I think the lingerer or two is having a problem with the three-legged stool. It's price, presentation, and location. Those are very important. So the ones that are lingering for me are the ones that are priced too high.
That's right. It's not because it doesn't look great. It's one of the other legs. Yes. 100%. Agree.
Okay, so here's our next myth: is staging is just decorating. People think, oh, I can just decorate my house to get it to sell. It's not true.
I have all these pretty things that I love. Right. That's not the point. It's not about pulling out the things that you love and creating a space that you love spending time in. That's what your next home is for.
Yeah.
Right. This is about creating a space that the largest pool of people can envision themselves living in.
Right.
So it's again neutralizing, and it's not decorating. It's not the bright colors and the bold
personalizing.
Yeah. It's the neutralizing and just enough stuff so that it feels homey and it feels warm and it feels like somewhere that somebody can move into.
Right. And I always say, I got this from Bobby McGrath. Staging and decorating are two sides of the same coin. Decorating personalizes a space and costs you money. Staging depersonalizes a place and makes you money.
Yes.
So there is a big difference, and we really think about all the pieces of the house to kind of put it together to look its best. Whereas if you're just going to go and decorate to sell, it doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah, it'll fall flat for sure. Because why would buyers fall in love with all of the things that you're putting out there when they're the things that you love? Like,
right. And you don't know what you don't know.
Like, same things will like it, but you're not going to have that big buyer's pool that we want to have.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. The next myth is staging can hide home flaws.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Okay.
We don't want to hide anything.
It sure can. If
sure can.
You want that to be the intention, but we really, I think, more than hiding the flaws, is we want to showcase the fixed assets of the house, the beautiful floors, the arches in the home, or the windows looking out onto open space. Those things, we want to highlight those rather than hide the negatives. Oh, let's just throw a rug over this really awful carpet.
Yeah, no, people are going to wonder, why is there a rug on the carpet? And then they're going to look and they're going to see it. So why are we?
And then they
don't want to cover it up anyway.
Right. Yeah.
We can maybe draw attention away from something that's not a positive.
Right.
And we can do that with the proper placement of accessories and things like that. But we certainly don't want to cover anything up and hide anything. I mean, that's a whole ethical thing also, which we're not going to deal with that.
Exactly. So we're all about making it better.
Yes.
And highlighting it.
All the positives for sure.
Okay, so this is a really good one. Myth number 5: staging is not necessary in a seller's market.
Staging works in both markets.
Always necessary. Always necessary in a buyer's market, seller's market, doesn't matter.
Yep.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's it exactly right. It works in a buyer's market. It works in a seller's market. You always want to elevate your space. You always want buyers to fall in love with your space. In a seller's market, yeah, maybe you'll get, maybe it's going to be priced super high and you're going to have 30 offers or whatever. But if it doesn't look good, maybe you'll only have 3. And maybe you'll only sell for $2,000 above asking instead of $30,000 above asking, or right. Yeah, you might think this looks good, but this looks a lot better when you do take the time.
And again, who doesn't want to make more money?
That's right. Nobody wants to leave that 10% on the table, or whatever the percentage is. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So, and you really want to be competitive in the market, so if your house is not looking great, and like Stephanie said, you're going to leave money on the table.
Yeah. People are comparing your home to the other homes that they're looking at. Mm-hmm. So how does your home compare? It could be a new home that they're looking at. It could just be another home down the street, right? Your home has to look good enough so that it's memorable, so that it stands out, so that it looks better than all of the other things that they're seeing. Otherwise, they're going to choose this guy. So you have to make it look fantastic.
Absolutely. Okay, our myth number 6 today is buyers can't visualize potential without staging. Well, that's a myth. Buyers can see past the current state of a home. Not really. They really can't. Only about 15% of people can envision how they can live in a home. And you only got about 5 to 7 seconds to capture their attention in the photos. So I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a myth, obviously.
It's a myth. And with vacants, I mean, we've talked about this before, I think, but if a home is vacant and somebody walks in and maybe, I mean, they can't visualize the potential, but now they're looking at this naked room and they're looking at the state of the carpet They're looking at the nicks in the wall. They're
Right.
looking at whatever little things aren't perfect. Whereas if there was
Right.
staging and they're maybe distracted a little bit because it looks so beautiful and they see how it can feel when they're all moved in and, all the things, they're not noticing all those little things that they might see as a negative. They're really not. But
Right.
yeah, buyers, they're visualizing all of the bad things when there's not staging. So staging needs to happen so that they can see all of the good.
Right. And as we've talked about before, it's like this is marketing, your biggest asset. Well, let's think about how do you market when you're going to sell your car? Are you going to put it on the market with, the crushed up Cheerios in the back seat from your kid? You're going to, you got a big crack through your glass that's going right through the windshield. You got, maybe your seatbelt's broken. I mean, all of those things buyers of your car are going to complain about. So instead, what do? You clean it, you wax it, you freshen the smell, all those things so that it looks amazing. And then you get a seller or a buyer. So it's very similar process. And I don't know why more people don't understand the importance of it.
Right. That's why we're here.
That's why we're
raising awareness, letting everybody know that it's so important.
That is right.
Okay. Yeah, it helps buyers envision living in the home. They have to be able to see themselves there. There you go.
Mic drop. So our next one is number 7, that staging is too time consuming, which it doesn't even make sense. If you're going to do your staging yourself, maybe it'll be time consuming. But if you're going to hire a professional stager, which is of course what Stephanie and I always recommend, then how can it be time consuming? I mean, there is a time between like when if it's a vacant home, when you move out to when the staging comes in,
right?
There's going to be some time there, probably not more than a week or 2. And when we do schedule stagings, sometimes it's going to take that much time. Maybe it's the busy season, or maybe whatever the case is, we can almost always accommodate within a couple of weeks.
But let's talk about that time frame too. Like, if you think it takes too much time and you want to just throw your home on the market and it doesn't look great, you're going to really be thinking it takes a lot of time to sell, because you're going to sit
talk about time,
right? So if you take that time, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and present your home the first time it goes on the market perfectly, beautifully, all the things, you're going to spend less time on the market. And then you can move on with your life sooner. So taking too much time is not a valid argument at all. And I mean, I think the first thing that came to my mind when you said that was like, yeah, decluttering might take a while depending on how much you have. Pre-packing, yeah, that might take a while, but you have to do that whether you're staging or not.
For sure.
So like, you're moving, so that has to happen. That has nothing to do with staging.
Right.
I mean, it does, but that time is going to pass regardless. But staging taking too much time, it's going to take more time on the market if you don't stage. So
right. And staging does take time. I mean, generally, when I get someone who's interested, well, of course, the agents are like, can you do it it's Monday, and can you do it by Wednesday? Can you do it by Thursday? No, we can't. And here's why. It takes a lot of time and energy to go look at the house, put together a design for the house, go source all the pieces that are necessary to bring in for staging, get a delivery, pack all that stuff up, and get it into the house. Now, the actual staging, a few hours, but all those other pieces have to come together to get it into the house. So I always say it, from the signing of the contract to the actual staging, is we try to do a week, but when it's the busy season, it does take oftentimes longer, which makes sense because we're busy.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people don't realize all that work that it takes on the front end of, prepare. Like, they think you just have a warehouse that's got like all of the rooms and you just bring everything.
throwing furniture out of the truck as I drive by.
Yeah, like you've got it. It's planned. It just lives there ready to go into this home. But no, you have variations happen, and different homes require different things, and you have to make a fresh plan for every home.
Right.
And that takes time. Like you said, you've got to look at the home, you've got to make the plan, you've got to source the furniture, find out where that furniture is coming from, who's got it, who's available, when can they deliver. Like so many pieces have to fall into place. It takes time, people.
And so you need to take that into consideration when you're thinking about selling and you're going through your timeline, that it could take some time. So you got to do your part up front to get it ready for the actual staging. And then it can go on the market. But remember, cleaning happens before staging, and then staging, and then pictures.
Yes, everything happens before staging. You should be the last trade. Like the tile should be done in the kitchen before the stager comes.
I can tell you so many times the contractors are still in there, and you're like,
it up, people. All that needs to be done. Have your cleaners come in, have it be spotless and perfect and empty, and then your stager can come in and bring in all the beautiful things. Now
I would say we're the cherry on top.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Good. Okay, moving on.
So a lot of times the next myth is that staging, DIY staging is just as good. And sure, if that's all you can afford to do, then go for it. But, you got to do something. It's much better to hire a professional stager because they know the things that you don't know. And that's what makes us an expert in staging. So, it's like we've said, it's not just throwing some furniture in a room and calling it done. It really, there's a lot to the process.
Yeah. And you can go on Google and you can download a comprehensive checklist, right? There's going to be a lot of things on there for you to do, but that's not the same as having professional eyes on your space and telling you the correct layout for your space or how this weird room can have purpose and be shown to potential buyers. Like there's so many things, and getting color right. Like if you need to paint, your consult needs to have and because you've got undertones that we can't just say, oh yeah, use agreeable gray, that's going to look fabulous. It doesn't work in everybody's home. So all of those things.
Although I think a lot of realtors think that it goes in any home.
Right. It's a go-to, and I've seen it look so awful sometimes.
Me too.
So I mean, if DIY is your only option, do it, learn about it, listen to our podcasts so that you can at least hear some of the tips and the techniques that we use when we go into a home. So you have at least a little bit of that back knowledge. But if you can hire at least for a consultation or set aside that $5,000 or whatever to have somebody bring all of the things in and just take care of it. And you don't have to think about it or worry about it or any of those things. Like it's totally worth it. And
it is.
It just, and again, you'll see it at the closing table when you sell for however many thousands more dollars.
Yes. So stage in whatever way.
Yes.
Hopefully with a professional stager. If it's not in the budget, then like Stephanie said, figure out it's not decorating. So figure out what makes staging work and do your best.
There's a ton of DIY staging pitfalls. In fact, we just talked about them in the last episode, all of the mistakes that DIY stagers are making. So go listen to the last episode because it's all there. Yeah.
So that's all of our myths for today. We talked about myth number 1 being staging being too expensive. Number 2 was only vacant homes need staging. No. Staging is just decorating. No, we definitely debunked that myth.
Yes.
Staging can hide flaws, which we don't necessarily want to do. Staging is not necessary in a seller's market. No. Buyers can't visualize potential without staging. Did we do that one?
We did that one, yeah.
Okay. I was like, staging takes too much time, and DIY staging is just as good. So those are the myths, and hopefully we were able to debunk all of them.
Yeah. And if you've heard some other myths that you're curious about, put them in the comments. Let us know and we can address them and talk about that either in the comments or in a FaceTime video. Future episode. Hang on.
It wasn't my phone this time. Thanks for joining us on today's episode where we talked about the myths of staging, and definitely reach out if you have a comment or even give us a like or a share to keep us doing what we're enjoying doing. So until next time, thanks for joining us.
Bye, everybody. When DIY staging is just as good, and the one we just did, is kind of helping them DIY stage. And now we're going to come in and be like, bam, hire a pro. I like it.
$56,000 on $800,000 house, and the investment's a couple thousand.
Right. It's not worth it to you to spend $2,000 to make 56.
Come on.
Thank you for listening to Stager Savvy, insider secrets to stage your home and sell it for more. We hope you've enjoyed our discussion on home staging and gained valuable insights that you can apply to your own real estate journey.
If you have any questions or ideas for future episodes, or would like to learn more about our services, please feel free to visit our website, stagersavvy.com, or reach out to us directly at stagersavvy@gmail.com. We're always happy to help.
And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast to stay up to date on the latest episodes. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to us, and it helps us improve our content and reach more people.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.